You're watching News 24 Live. Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has made 8 changes to his starting lineup for the Springboks Pool B clash against Samoa this weekend in Birmingham. We've got a very special guest in studio today to talk through those changes and Springbok matters in general. Former Springbok hooker James Dalton. James, good afternoon. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Nick.
Well, last time we had you in studio, we were talking tens rugby. If now finally we can talk about World Cup rugby, which you of course have a lot of experience in. Before we get into that, obviously last weekend against Japan was a huge shock. There's been a lot of reaction and a lot of discussion about this. I mean, we don't want to dissect it too much, but just quickly, what was your impression watching that game? And yeah, how did you feel afterwards?
Well, look, I sit as an ex-Boks player, so I remember when I was playing, I never liked criticism from the ex-Boks. But the realities are we've got to take it on face value. It wasn't a good performance. We lost against Japan. The only other team they've ever beaten was Zimbabwe. We suffered an earlier loss in the year against Argentina. So I think from Springbok year on performance, probably the worst year in our history, I think.
James, now you've obviously played in a World Cup. How would the team sort of be? How would the dynamics be in the team now? After, I mean, you obviously had a very successful World Cup in '95, but what would be going on sort of behind the scenes, administration, management, players? How do they switch off? First of all, put the defeat behind them, but switch off all the negative stuff.
Well, Nick, I think it's very difficult. When you're losing, you tend to find fault with almost everything. And life is very much, and sport and business and day-to-day life is based on confidence and self-confidence. So I think everyone will be doubting either what they're doing, is it right? Are we doing the right things? Are we doing too much? Are we doing too little? And even the players would be soul-searching and trying to find that confidence, because we've clearly seen now that every nation is competitive, and do you have the self-belief and the confidence and the will to if you're behind, to be able to come back? So that's going to be the biggest challenge for us. Is we're on the back foot. We are a great, very proud rugby nation. We certainly have the talent, but can we put it together? Yes, I believe we can, but it's not going to be easy.
What do you think the problem has been with the Springbok team? I mean, losing to Argentina, losing to Japan, I mean, just, stuff like that's never happened to the Boks team before. Is it a coaching issue, personnel, boring, sort of one-dimensional game plan? What is it?
What we have to realize is when countries and individual players from those countries play against the Springboks, the icons, or one of the icons of international rugby, they're going to elevate their play by at least 20%, which means we need to realize that we are not going to just pitch up and win. We have to play to win, to overcome that 20% where these guys have elevated their play. So that's the first and foremost thing, is that we need to realize we've got to play for the victories. They're not just going to come to us because we're the Springboks.